Alright guys, this is a Saturday morning. I've been working on windshield wipers. I've already replaced the motor. I'm not sure. It's been 10 years ago. I don't know if I ever had these wipers working. Excuse me. But I got a sticker, so they had to work. But now that I put the new motor in, I'm having some serious issues with the wiring. I'm having the same issues with Bubba over there that I'm having with Bertha right now. And the two motors came from O'Reilly's Auto Parts. And the option was, they call them Hideaway, or it's essentially Hideaway. What happens is when you shut down the wipers will stop and then park themselves down below the edge of the hood here, so you don't see them. I know I have the Hideaway option because I have the bracket that goes on the firewall for the Hideaway on both cars. Same exact motors, same exact pumps, and this is the issue that I'm having. Now I don't know if the wiring is skewed, but say for the sake of the argument here, I don't have no high speed, and then when I go to shut this off, it does this. It won't park. Unless I turn the key off. Having the same issue. I actually have to adjust the linkage on that too because it's going past the edge of the windshield. This one is also having the same issue. So you would take it, turn the key on. You just saw it pop. Oh, the switch is outside. I'd have to get the switch. I'll bring the switch in and I'll hook it up and bring back in a second. Okay, I'm back. I got the switch on. It's a number 96 switch. Russ sent me that PDF. That actually was quite helpful, Russ. But I'm thinking I'm getting some sort of cross somewhere in the wiring. So if you turn this one on, you get happy. Okay. See it? I'm not getting anything other than a pulse. So I'm thinking the wiring is crossed somewhere because if you press down to hit the squirters, see it? So what we're going to do is we're going to troubleshoot all this wiring. I'm going to go through multiple, I got websites, I got all kinds of PDFs, I got all kinds of documentation. I actually got the book, the Camaro book. We're going to go through that, read up, and then I'll bring you back when I have something to show, because as it shows right now, everything is right where it's supposed to be, but it's not right in the world with this car. So we're going to try to figure this one out, and if I can get this one figured out, then I can get that one figured out. Two different switches. I guess GM used a whole bunch of different switches throughout. This one is a three blade straight. It's got a supplemental ground. I know this one has to be grounded out too, but we're going to be testing for grounding on the actual body of the wiper motor assembly. I'll grab power off the alternator stud that's got live power. I'll use a test light, and we're going to check that out to see if that's grounded and see if that's working. So I'll bring you back in a second. Alright. So we definitely got good ground here. It's grounded. So I know that's not the issue, so we figured that out. gonna go take a look at Bubba too, see what's going on with him, but I'm pretty sure ground is not an issue. Okay, I did Bubba too. He's grounded out, so we're trying to do two at the same time. So now we're going to go in the car. We're going to check the harnesses and see if we got any wiring that's backwards. So I'm thinking it is. So we'll take these harnesses off. Take these off. Pull them out. So you have essentially a high-low, I'm thinking. There's a low, high, constant power, and then there's power to the pump, and power to the pump, and I guess it grounds back out at the switch. So I have to ground the switch out to do this, so we'll try to get that sorted out. Alright. Also, I'm making sure all my contacts are clean. Some of them were really corroded. So what I've been doing is I've been pulling them out, wire brushing them, getting the brass nice and shiny again. So I don't want any issues or second thoughts. Maybe it's a bad contact. So that's what I'm doing now. Cleaning these off, getting nice shiny brass. It's not a good day for somebody. Not a way to start the day in an ambulance or end the day. Alright guys, as you can see, things are going downhill really fast. What happened was, I was doing some research. I talked to Double R, Russ. He sent me a PDF for hidden wipers, or it's actually pretty interesting. The guy that wrote it was on I think it's z28. Well, the PDF, if I can find it. Let's see if I can find it. It's in this phone somewhere. Okay, documents. Alright, wipers. Alright, this guy talks about wipers, everything, switches, motors, adjustment. It has some wiring, but he talks about the switches and what I have for a switch. Oh, what the heck's going on? Essentially, this is my switch right here. Well, actually, this is the switch that's in the 71, and this is the switch that's in the 73. On the back of the switch, on mine, you have 3 prongs. They say there's a stamping number here, but I don't see it. And then this is a supplementary ground. So essentially, you take away these 2 things, and you have the 3 prongs. So what they're telling me is that this style switch does not work with hideaway wipers. And to make sure that I do have hideaway wipers, I researched it and I looked online too. And the criteria for hideaway wipers, if we could bring the camera over, the criteria you need behind that washer motor is a mounting plate. It bumps you out of the firewall. It doesn't directly. This motor does not bolt directly to the firewall. It bolts to a plate that directly bolts to the firewall. And then within that plate, and within the arms here, you have a hinge style arm with the wiper blades. To put them on, you have a stud that goes up. It doesn't have a hook, and it doesn't have a barb. And you also have a secondary brace arm here, which I do on both of them, and it bolts to the transmission. So these are hideaway, and the same thing is on Bertha, hideaway. So what the guy's saying in that PDF is this switch does not work with Hideaway, but it can be modified too by simply taking it off the back cover here. Here's the cover. This is actually a grounding plate. This was what grounds the switch, but you're supposed to take this off of this and spin it. But the problem I'm having is on this switch, it has a tab that locks in to there. So now by what they mean by flipping it upside down, I'm kind of lost. So in the process of trying to do that, you have the lever, and this little knockout is essentially a tab that they bend out. So I was trying to bend it back in, and it broke. So now I'm like, okay, that is the switch. That is the actual switch for the... That's what engages the pumpers on the window wash. So what I had to do is I had to bring in solder, preheat this brass terminal, this lever. I had to get it as hot as I could. I tinned it, and then I filled it with solder. And now I'm in the process of filing it. So it works now. You see the contact here? That rides on a spring. So now this goes inside this contact. If we can do it. See how it pushes the little tab up? Well, that's what gives you, that makes the contact in the board and gives you that pump. So I got this fixed, thank God. Because nobody carries these switches. It's all online, and I don't have that capability getting anything today. So I'm going to try to flip it upside down like they say, maybe grind that tab down, and then this becomes a Hideaway. It becomes the switch for it. So, man, I wired this whole black car here. My cousin and I wired the orange one. He did most of the wiring because I was very uncertain of myself, and this time I took it upon myself to do it on the black car. I wired the whole car. I chased gremlins. I get to this point, and this thing is kicking my ass. Alright, I had nothing but a disaster with this switch. It broke apart. I put it back together. I had to weld it all, plastic weld it all together. The tabs are all broken, the casing's all broken, but it's still working. I can't get a switch like this anywhere online. They give you a generic switch without the pump. So it'll just be on, below, high, off. And that's not what I'm looking for. So I got multimeter. I'm just going to check for continuity to see what the hell's going on here. So as we got it now, I got it set on the ground. This is a ground bar here too. So these two are connected. This ground bar. So we go over to the first one. We have nothing. So we have contact here. Oh, because the damn wiper switch motor is on. Alright, let's shut it off. Sorry. See if it's working. Nothing. So then I turn it to the on position. Low and high go on. I'm assuming this is low and this one's high. No, this is high. This one's high. Alright, so this is high, low, and if I depress, I think that's the squirter. Yeah, so that's squirter, pump. That one's on, and that one's on. Then you switch this to the high. That goes off, and this one stays on. So I think my problem is how I'm hooking these up. Off, off. I just hit this right here. Off, 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 on, off, on. I got to figure out this wiring here. I got to figure out this wiring. And if I take the harness and I plug it in and I ground out this terminal, the wipers come out right out, it just takes it right out of pocket and they stop working. Then I let it go, it goes back into its place, and then it starts bumping again. Ticka, ticka, ticka. So I don't know what the hell's going on. I hope there's somebody out there in YouTube land that can help me out here, because this is really, really frustrating. So now that I know what's what, I'm going to label these and bring you back and show you what I got. Or maybe not. We'll see. Okay, prognosis. I think I need a new switch. And I think I need a wiper relay. I don't have a wiper relay in this car, and I don't have a wiper relay in the other car. So anybody who's well versed in that, who would know, feel free to comment. Point me in the right direction. Give me a part number. Show me what it looks like. Because I went online and they show like a 3-barrel style, but it's like for a 67 to a 69 Camaro. I don't know if there's anything for a second gen. It has to be. So we established pump, low and high, ground, ground bar, ground, ground. So tell me what you think, guys. I think I'm missing a relay, or relays times 2. This is Mark, the second gen, Saturday, beat to shit, tired, and I was doing a bunch of things in between, trying to fix the car, trying to get the wipers going, and I'm just beat. So what do you think? Relay? I think I need a relay. I'm not sure, but I would like to have some sort of confirmation and a little bit of guys saying, yeah, get a relay in that thing. It should work. All right. Have a good one, guys. Peace.